What is up, my friends? Welcome to another Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com, and we got some new core set 2021 standard for y'all, and we got the big dragon here. Ugin the Spirit Dragon has returned to standard, and I've said a few times so far, both on stream and in my articles, that I somewhat question the logic of returning Ugin the Spirit Dragon to standard. And we have some of the literal best ramp spells of all time, and ramp couldn't be any better. And now we're adding Ugin to that equation. Look, I don't know. I ain't Watsy, all right? I don't make these choices, but I do play the game, and if they're going to give me Ugin, I'm going to play Ugin. And this is a Simic ramp deck based off a list that Mighty Linguini took to the finals of the VML tournament that I actually cast with my fiancée Nicole, Lady of the Crease. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm playing this deck over the week. I 4-0'd a Star City qualifier for the Open, which ended up being 2 days ago. And of course, this is recorded before that happened, so hopefully I did well. But 4 with this deck, and this feels like one of the baseline best decks in the format. I know Bant's been kind of popular and other versions of this deck, but this deck is so brutally efficient in what it does, and it just plays so many of the best cards in the format that it's really, really hard to argue. So Simic ramp, we've seen a lot of Bant ramp pre-core set 2021, but Ugin does a lot to really answer the things that white is almost necessary for. So it's Fairy Time Raveler, Shatter the Sky, having some sort of a sweeper effect so you can kind of like, not die like the really fast aggressive decks. Ugin just does all that. Ugin's just insane. And we get down to straight blue-green. Our lands are super smooth. A lot of lands coming in untapped. And we're just playing so many good cards. We're playing for Growth Spiral, one of the best cards in the format. 3 Euro, one of the best cards in the format. Hydroid Krasis. Nissa who shakes the world. And no doubt that core is just simply phenomenal. And we're metagaming here a little bit too. So new card here in Cultivate. Of course, Arboreal Grazer. Just the usual ramp stuff. But we're also just playing 3 main deck copies of Aether Gust and 3 main deck copies of Mystical Dispute. Now, of course, Dispute is never dead. At worst, it's a mana leak. And this deck's ability to sort of like leave up counter magic occasionally, either to defend ourselves when we go like Nissa, Untapped Breeding Pool, say go, or just to like buy a turn or two to cast Ugin is pretty awesome. And then Aether Gust, almost always live in this format. Your opponent's usually playing green, or they're playing red. It's pretty hard for Aether Gust to be dead, and even when it is dead, you can still save your Hydroid Krasis to the top of your deck, or Euro, yeah. And then even when it is dead, the raw power of your deck is just so high. So we're just playing lands, we're just ramping, we're playing Nissa. Of course, Nissa plays phenomenally with Ugin, because Nissa's lands are colorless, so you can leave those in play, kill everything else, and it's basically it. Pretty simple deck. Things get a little more interesting after Sideboard. After Sideboard, we bring some more counter spells and some other threats. Shark Typhoon in the Sideboard for once the counter spells come in. Want to have a flash threat. Shifting Ceratops against counter spells. Extra Dispute. Borrower good against decks going all in on stuff as a removal spell. Wilt, Scavenging Ooze, Negate. A lot of usual stuff here. And it's pretty simple, but it's really, really effective. Just an amazingly powerful deck on a raw power level here. Ugin, Euro, it's hard to complain too much. If you're playing a week 1 standard format, I mean, raw power is the way to go. So we're gonna blast this deck through some ranked ladder here. Ladder just reset, so we're pretty fresh on that. But first, we word from our sponsor here at CoolStuffInc.com.
CoolStuffInc.com is offering Core Set 2021 pre-release packs with 2 free additional Core Set boosters. That's 8 boosters and a foil rare or mythic promo for only $24.99 while supplies last. CoolStuffInc.com, cool stuff in stock.
All right, round 1 on the draw, and not a great hand. No 2 mana ramp. 3 mana ramp on the draw. I think we're going to keep this. We do have a Scryland. It's not a great hand. But with a Scryland, we got a Euro, Krasis. I think this hand is fine. I don't love it. You know, if our opponent's playing a faster deck with a faster draw, we could be in trouble, but we're going to keep here. Let's have Blast Zone, too, so if they're a one-drop deck. Nope. Might be a mirror here. Draw land. We're going to bottom this Ugin. Just looking for some ramp here. It's very important to just find your ramp, make your land drops, and go from there. Alright, so Teamer lands here. Teamer Reclamation is one of the decks in the format that can actually go over the top of us. That doesn't really care about Ugin the Spirit Dragon because they beat you on the stack with a huge explosion. So we'll see what's happening here. Euro, sure. Probably going to be matching that play. So Reclamation, not a great matchup in game 1 here. So give him the old Euro. Set up for turn 4 Nissa. Question here is if we're going to play the Triome or try and hold on to it. Don't have any forests in play currently for Nissa, which isn't great. Given that we have 3 other lands, I'm going to hold on to Triome. It's a little nice we have a double passage here, too. So the fetch lands will help fuel the Euro from our graveyard. Oh, never mind. Forget I said that. Scavenging Ooze is here. So Scavenging Ooze makes me think less that they're playing Reclamation, which is probably not bad for us. We get to play Nissa here. And then if they can't answer Nissa, we got some big boomers in our hand for sure. So I'm going to fire up in a non-forest. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to fire up Temple of Mystery. Now, they could eat their own Euro to make their Ooze into a 4/4 if we attack. And I kind of think they would do that. I think that eating our land and attacking Nissa for 4 is pretty powerful. So we're just going to say go here. Yeah, so they're going to preemptively eat their land on their eat the Euro on the end step, and play Questing Beast. Wow. Okay, so they're coming at it, and 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can't cast Ugin next turn, so we're just gonna block here. Nissa's gonna take 4 from the Questing Beast, but we get to play Ugin and wipe the board, which is really really good. So kind of hard to complain there. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Play Ugin. Get a -4. Wipe the board. This Ugin is ridiculous. And then fire up a land. It might actually just be Blast Zone here. Kind of doubt Blast Zone will be super useful. Yeah. Usually you want to use your worst land for your Nissa, so if it dies, it goes away. But then next turn we have a monster Krasis. Questing Beast again. Now, this beast would end up killing our Ugin, so I believe we're going to jump block here. Then we get to get Ugin out of harm's way. Play another forest. Just going to play a huge Hydroid Krasis. We're going to tap. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, or 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Gonna play an 11/11 Krasis. Oh wait, whoops, sorry. An 11 mana Krasis, so X is 9. Draw a bunch of cards. Give him the old lightning bolt upstairs. So now I need to deal with my 9/9 Krasis, and my Ugin, and my Nissa, and my land, and my 7 cards. It's not hard to see how fast this stuff snowballs, Land 5. And this would kill my Nissa. I do have another Nissa, though. What do we got in our graveyard? We got 4 cards in our graveyard. Nissa would be 5, so we can Euro as well. It's an interesting spot because if we want to minus the Ugin to kill stuff, it would kill the Krasis as well. I doubt they have many ways to actually kill a Krasis though. And if we play, they kill Nissa, we play Nissa, and then we get to untap and play Forest, untap. Could play. Can't play Euro from the graveyard. I think this is fine. So our newness is going to be not big enough to survive a Questing Beast hit anyway, so. Suppose they have a Stomp to finish off the Ugin. That could do it, but it does not seem to be the case, so. They got a lot of stuff to work through here. Cavalier of Thorns, sure. Barada, Heart of Keld, Bones, some sort of weird like teamer beatdown deck. Alright, so draw Temple. I don't hate -5ing the Ugin, but obviously we would lose our Krasis in that case. Just send the Krasis and see what happens. I doubt they're gonna block, so probably just gonna minus here. We can play Forest, play Nissa. Actually, for the -5, we do that first. Like throwing away Ugin is definitely like we're throwing away Ugin and our 9/9. It's kind of tough. It's kind of a hard sell. Maybe we just Nissa, Euro. We'll have a 3/3. They have a lot of work to do on our Planeswalkers. And then we just kill them in the air next turn with the Krasis. Kind of like that. I kind of doubt they have an answer to Krasis. Unless it's exactly like Aether Gust. So, yeah, let's do that. So, play Nissa. Untap. Forest.
The land fights for us.
Play Euro. Heh. So you put in Forest. That's actually a pretty good draw. And then put in. I'm sorry. I already floating green. Oops. I could have put. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. Play Temple. Bottom Passage. And Bolt you. So now we have a blocker for the Cavaliers, so we're just like in amazing shape here. It's kind of hard to have Ugin in play for a few turns and lose the game, you know? Questing Beast will chomp something, which is whatever. Got enough cards for Euro to come back. We have Ugin, we have Nissa, we have 9/9, they're dead on board. Not really sure what their plan here is. Still dead on board. The Krasis and the Bolt. Alright. Oh, sure, the Cavalier of Thorns. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. They can get back something. Go to 7. We're gonna like play Cultivate, Euro, have Open Dispute, just like, you know, comical amount of good things happening for us. They're gonna have a Bone Crusher Giant on top? Sure. Give him a Bolt. Sure. We could probably hit buttons at random at this point and still win the game. So pretty good spot for us. So some sort of like teamer mid-range deck. Interesting. Definitely want the 4th Aether Gust. Questing Beast, Cavalier of Thorns. Bone Crusher Giant Scavenging Ooze. Probably going to have some counter spells post board. Kind of like cutting like Grazer. Maybe bring in the Shark Typhoon. Because they're going to bring in some counter spells most likely. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Not exactly sure what they're doing, but I think I'm happy here. All right, so Gust, Cultivate, Nissa, Ugin. Pretty solid keep here. Been pretty impressed with Cultivate. Oh wow, Growth Spiral, fantastic. Land on top. Love to see it. Love to see it. Once you have the extra land effects, it's very important to keep lands in your hand. So, play Forest, say go. They're playing Growth Spiral also. No interest in Aether Gusting this. We could just resolve our Spiral now, but it doesn't really like do much for us. If they can't have a Spiral, we're just casting Cultivate anyway, so. Alright. Land off the top. Must be nice. I'm going to Aether Gust here. If I Gust, the Rada goes away forever. And Gust now, then into Cultivate, into Nissa feels pretty good. So I kind of like this. Turns our Gust into a Terminate. We don't need to cast Growth Spiral because we're just playing Cultivate next turn anyway. So... Bye-bye. Alright, so Cultivate. We'll get Island Forest. Get Island in play. And feeling pretty good. Wish we had a Breeding Pool or a Triome in play. So we can Nissa untap Spiral, but Chandra, Heart of Fire. Can't plus that one.
I will fight for freedom everywhere.
I do like this card, but not great when you have got 4 cards in your hand, for sure. Alright, so we're just gonna Nissa here. We're time to tap a Forest.
Shelter in my stewardship.
Usually we're inclined to protect our forests, but only 2 blue sources. Gotta have 2 blue for Euro. And next turn we got Ugin. And if they kill Nissa, we should get Cultivate, Growth Spiral into Ugin. So Cultivate plays really, really well with the extra land effects. We're able to ensure we have lands in our hands. We cast Growth Spiral and Arboreal Grazer in Euro. We get to play extra land drops. All flows together really, really well. I like Chandra. I don't think Chandra's very good in this metagame. Chandra's a really good, like, mid-rangey planeswalker. Doesn't play very well against, like, big ramp decks and things like that. I think post-rotation, Chandra Heart of Fire will be very, very good. Currently, though, it's just overshadowed by much more powerful effects. Ugin, Nissa. Okay, Aether Gust. I mean, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think we're just casting Ugin. I guess they could have like a counterspell here. They have 2 mana up. So I would like to not cast Ugin. I'd like to play Cultivate and leave up Aether Gust. Just kind of chill. We also have Growth Spiral too, so. No plus in a land. Attack Chandra for 6. They're going to Aether Gust my Cultivate. That is very interesting. We're going to just throw it away. And now we're going to 2, 4, 6, 7. I mean, now we're just going to fire in an attack and then an Ugin, right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. We want to do a Forest, I think, but...
Behold, nature's true power.
Attack here. Play Growth Spiral, floating a mana.
I'm leaving.
Oops. Play land. Play Ugin. Bolcha. I mean, like, you just play Ugin so fast. You know, like, Ugin's just so good. What are you going to do? What's your plan, teamer deck? Not even there on not there on Euro yet. Like, don't know what the plan is. It's a Scavenging Ooze, sure. Scavenging Ooze is a very good Magic card, but even though you would think it would be good against these Euro decks, it's just so far under the things that are happening, it's almost embarrassing. We're just gonna bolt the Ooze and just fire in some attacks and stuff. I guess we'll just play Growth Spiral. Actually, let's Temple first. Let's Scry first, then Growth Spiral. Sure, I love a Dispute here, actually. Fire that up. We're gonna bolt Scavenging Ooze. Threaten an Ultimate. Fire up the Nissa. Have Dispute and Gust up. Sure. My Aether Gust is gone. You got me. Scavenging Ooze is really good. It's just a little small ball for what's happening in this format.
Ghost fire. My great.
And the sick part is, in the middle of all of this while we're ramping, we just have 6 power in play. So yeah, just a dirty, dirty game. All right. Simic ramp. It's pretty good. Just the raw power, you know, when you're bringing your deck to your like week 1 or week 2 standard format tournament, just bring in some raw power, you know. Even if you get it wrong, it's hard to get Ugin wrong. It costs 8. It wins the game when you cast it. You know, like... Alright, 1-0, round 2. So, an okay hand. It's got Ramp into Nissa on the draw, no 2-drop, but put a mulligan. We got Scry lands. It's a pretty easy keep. Pretty easy keep. A little slow if they're playing an aggro deck, but not a ton of aggro decks in this format, realistically. Temple of Abandon, sure. Temple of Mystery. Alright, so... Love to draw Growth Spiral or Arboreal Grazer, but... Scavenging Ooze again. Folks love their Scavenging Oozes. Alright, we're going to ship a second Nissa also. Already have one. Looking for like Ugin or Aether Gust, things like that. Gruul Spellbreaker. Alright, so they are bringing the beats. I mean, we got the old Grizzly Bear here. Alright, so we're going to... we can Cultivate or Euro. I think I like Euro. He just gets the breeding pool one to play tap safely. Hello, Eugene. If they have like Questing Beast here and they like really curve out, we could be in a bit of trouble. But I don't know why I talk. Alright, so pretty good curve here on the draw. We're probably just dead. I don't think we're coming back from this, unfortunately. I said the hand was a little slow, and opponent wants to punish us. Absolutely.
I will protect the virtue of
Gonna
this
fire
world.
up a non-forest, so we can try and make a block and cast Ugin next turn if Nissa can survive, and we can survive, but probably just gonna Embercleave us here. We're gonna die. Oh yeah, for sure. That's a total Embercleave pause. Totally dead. Dead as a doornail. 5-10. Yep, we're dead. Alright, so pretty good hand from our opponent. We said that if they had a fast hand, we were in trouble on the draw, but I think it's still a keep against an unknown opponent. Obviously, they curved out perfectly. 2-drop, 3-drop with haste, 4-drop with haste, Embercleave. So that's fine. That's fine. Alright, 4th Aether Gust. I would say we don't want our Mystical Disputes. We do want a Grazer, and Brazen Borrower is... It's not great, actually, because the body's so relevant. Bring in that Shark Typhoon, I think. Don't think we want Scavenging Ooze. We don't really kill much. The problem is that like people keep playing Ooze in decks that don't really kill things. Ooze is really good in Jund, because Jund's like, Thoughtseize you, bolt your creature, terminate your creature, Liliana Plus. You know, and there's constantly cards going to the graveyard. These ramp decks don't really do that. So, not a ton of things in the yard to really take advantage of, so... You know, on the play with 4 Aether Gusts, 3 Arboreal Grazers, 4 Growth Spirals, you know. If we knew what they were playing, there's a chance we would have mulligan that hand, but yeah, their draw was pretty perfect. Alright, so no ramp, but double gust is pretty good. Oh, well, there you go. Now we just got everything, so couldn't ask for more. Alright, here's a 1 drop, which is pretty good. I should have played Island and then cast Growth Spiral looking for a Arboreal Grazer. But now that I have... I think I'll slip through it. Oh, gross. Alright, so I screwed up. I should have played the Island over the Forest. Obviously, I realized it immediately, but that's fine. We'll just take 2. Play Arboreal Grazer. And now we're obviously ramped up pretty good here. We have 4 lands in play to their 1, because it's just a silly format. Double Aether Gust, Blast Zone, you know, Scavenging Ooze, Grizzly Bears, sure. I'll play the Blast Zone. Just like, we need to draw some sort of a payoff here. But plenty of interaction, plenty of time. Blast Zone's not bad either. Edgewall Innkeeper? Sure. I mean, now we can just Blast Zone for 1. They're going to cast a Rimrock Knight. So it's a cast trigger. Can't do anything about the card draw. Can block, though. So we're going to block. We're going to pop the Blast Zone. I think killing Collector and Innkeeper is definitely worth stone rating ourselves. Nothing else really going on. We lose our Grazer too, but I think it's fine. I mean, we need to draw something. You know, Krasis, Nissa, Euro, something, you know, but... Not really interested in gusting yet. Alright. Scry to the bottom. And that's for Rock Knight. So pretty good here. You know, a 3-1 cantrip against our non-interactive hand is pretty good. We don't really want to put the Rimrock Knight on top, so let's cast it and draw a card. Suppose there's a creature in the graveyard now, so Scav 2 creatures. So Scavenging Ooze can get in. I think we're going to gust the Scavenging Ooze, just spend our mana, so hopefully we'll draw Krasis for 4 or something like that. We need to draw a spell here, realistically. I mean, they've just played, you know, 6 creatures in the first 4 turns, and we have, don't really have anything going on, so... Sure. They, bottom the Ooze. Yeah, I can't really gust these Rimrock Knights. Might have to, though, honestly. Sure. That makes life easy. So that just, you know, informs us to give him the old gust here. Put that on top, and we're going to hold on to the other gust for the equip on the Embercleave. I need to draw a spell here. Man, they're just cranking. That is a spell. Yeah, that's pretty good. Didn't draw a land, though. 4, 8, 9, 10. Now, if we cultivate, we can't gust. Then I get to Embercleave us. But then I get to Euro and then gust next turn, which is pretty good. Oh, they have a knight. Never mind. So I would die. They would Embercleave, pump, 4, 6, 12. Yeah, we just die. So we have to say go here, which is kind of gross, but... So I'm just going to hard cast the Rimrock Knight, which good looks. Going for a Boulder Rush should have been pretty greedy. Again, gusting the adventure creature with an Innkeeper in play kind of sucks, but... Alright, so... Just give him the old Euro first. They do have Embercleave. And I mean, you get a lot of mana, but we need to not die. They have Rimrock Knight to give us +6, 12. Yeah, so they Rimrock and then equip. We have to block with Euro, which is pretty terrible, actually. Six, 12, that's exactly 13. Oh, man. What a tough match, honestly. Like, just, like, don't really have enough. And we drew the Gust, but no ramp, and... Alright, so we need to jump here. We draw Ugin. We have 4 Ugin in our deck, so... Or Krasis, I suppose. But Embercleave, obviously, very, very good. Oh, daddy. Alrighty, then. Minus... I'll say 2. They can't... I guess if they have, like, literally land and Gruul Spellbreaker, they will kill us. But... only have 2 cards in hand, so...
You are too dangerous to roam free.
I suppose we have left the Embercleave in play. We can minus again. Grimrock Knight. Lovestruck Beast, sure. And land. Draw Nissa. We like that. We like that. Doesn't matter, I guess. Out of the tap.
Together, we will prevail.
-3. Also a blue source. We can
Behold, nature's true
fire up the
power.
Vantress. Pretty lucky over here. Pretty lucky. It's almost like we have 4 Ugin in our deck. Grazer and Forest to the bottom. Upkeep Scry looking for Krasis. Kind of about that. This ship. I guess the passage wasn't terrible, but draw. That plays. No, let's tap this. Euro says gain 3 life, just clutch. Play that, just clutch. Nissa just closes so fast too, like
The land fights.
1 short on Euro, but if a Planeswalker or land dies, we're good to go. 2 cards in hand too. Look at those cards be. Lands, the Evercleave, Gruul Spellbreaker. Pretty good. So we have 4/4 double strike, so we gotta block at least 1. Let's see where it goes. So we like actively want one of our lands to die anyway for Euro, so it's 8 total power. Oh, hello. Primal Might. So prey upon. That'll do it. So they can take out the Ugin here if they want to, but we get to untap with Euro. Okay. Cool. Game 3. Any interest in Scavenging Ooze? I don't think so. I think the Ooze steer's a little too slow. Brazen Borrower is like... The body is completely irrelevant. This can't block anything, but... Just a bounce spell against Embercleave is like... Pretty reasonable. But... I don't think we want it. We have 4 Aether Gusts. Ugin looms. Just gotta draw a Grazer or a Spiral here, I think. Opponent's mulligan. Didn't draw a Spiral or Grazer. We have a Gust into a Euro, which is pretty good. We're going to keep this. Opponent mulligan's to 5. Alright, well, that's a good card to play when you mulligan to 5. Get those cards right back. Scavenging Ooze. Nope. Alright. We're definitely gusting something. I kind of want to gust the Innkeeper after they draw their card for turn to ensure they can't draw cards off it and make things really awkward for them. Not particularly worried about the Scavenging Ooze, which is literally a Grizzly Bear. And then our next few turns are accounted for. We have Cultivate into Nissa, into, et cetera, et cetera. Scavenging Ooze makes Euro awkward, but we have Cultivate instead, so. Another Innkeeper, and they bottom this Innkeeper because they have the lands, sure. Alright, so. I mean, they definitely got a decent hand here. They get to play Lovestruck Beast, draw a card. Like, if they draw like a Questing Beast or an Embercleave, might just die. But what if I get a Nissa? Make them at least attack the Nissa. Hopefully get a creature in response at some point, or just, oh my god, they got everything. That is insane. What a sick draw. Alright, I mean, we get to untap and play Krasis for 1 million, which is pretty good. So 4, 9, 10, 11. Eat the Ooze. Yeah, alright.
Do not test me.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Play 7/7 Krasis and have a land to block too. It's probably what we're doing. So you got 9 mana, so X is 7. Double Vantress and Passage, but
Rise, my elemental friend.
alright, I mean, they have Embercleave too, and they literally have everything. We're dead. But what are you gonna do? Like, so far they've had actual everything. Now we got Euros too, so I guess they have the Ooze is gone. They've got only 2 cards in the bin, but just gonna cast Knight and draw a card, sure. At this point, our blocks are decent, at least. And they're saying go. They are giving us free reign. Again, we don't want to die to an Embercleave. But realistically, there's not much we can do about it at the moment. That might have been a mistake. Okay, I'm Forest. 2, 4, 6. Just play a 6/6 Krasis and try and draw an Aether Gust and untap a land. I'm not drawing Aether Gust.
The land fights for us.
I'm gonna say go. Discard some lands. Now we're pretty close to Euro too, which is pretty nice. So get the Growth Spiral. Kind of like Ember Cleaver bust here, because the cleave plus Questing Beast just kills us, because it'll deal 9 with Death Touch. Alright, I guess they don't have a... They don't have Ember Cleave, I guess. So, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. 2-0. Simic Ramp rolling right along here. That's a pretty scary match, honestly. Some pretty good draws from our opponent, but they just couldn't finish us off in that third game there. Ember Cleave's scary, but obviously playing through main deck Aether Gust. Aether Gust and Mystical Dispute are the cards that really like put this deck over the top, because things that should be good against it, like aggressive red cards and blue counter spells, Aether Gust and Mystical Dispute are just so good against, you know, so... This hand's really close, because it needs to draw at least one land. Spiral with no lands, but we have Cultivate, and we have a tap land into an untapped land. I'm going to keep this. We have a draw land, but we have our draw step, and then our draw step, and then our Growth Spiral. And we're playing 29 lands in our deck. Any one land makes this hand awesome, so we're going to keep. It's a little risky. Prefer if this was a Scry land, and this is the Vantress is an island, but... Triome being a forest and an island is pretty nice. Let's go with Nissa. Let's go with our castles. Having more lands we can untap for Nissa to be able to cast Aether Gust or Negate is just like huge game. Alright. Tate, Empled. I'm just going to Spiral, right? They have like a Manic Dispute. I'm going to Spiral right now. Alright. Taking a risk here. Oh boy. Alright, well. Our deck is half lands and we lost 3 flips in a row. So, take the old 12.5%er to the bank. Mirror is all about just who can ramp harder, so we're probably in trouble here. Oh my god. Well, we found our land. It is probably too late. Definitely we keep it again. Again, we had to lose 3 flips in a row there. The third flip could have been a tap land, which is like a little worse than, 12.5%, but... What you got, opponent? Put us in the ground. Game 2. Let's go. Yeah.
Witness the ties that bind us all.
This is the kind of card you got to answer immediately or do something more powerful, because letting your opponent on top with Nissa is not a good idea. Keep playing for, posterity's sake, but probably getting Ugin or like 12-12 Krasis or something here and just going to call it a game. Opponents have a tank here. It means they have multiple big things to do, which is probably bad for us, so that's okay. Once again, I think I would keep that hand again. I don't feel any regret. They're going to hardcast Shark Typhoon. Interesting. Because
Rise, my elemental friend.
these decks don't have a ton of non-creature spells. Well, not the Ugin we were expecting, but that's good enough for me, so we're going to call it a game here. Now we can't even like Ugin to wipe their board, so yeah, obviously pretty tough game there. You can't ever miss a land drop in the mirror, so We cut the Grazers. They don't really do enough. Bring in some negates. Things get a little more counterspelly post board, so Typhoon's pretty good. I like shaving an Ugin. You can shave a Euro too, because realistically Euro just gets Aether Gusted. Nothing really goes to the graveyard. I think you want 3 negates. 3 negates, 3 gusts, and 3 disputes. Pretty happy with that. Could bring in Ceratops for feeling frisky, but I haven't seen a ton yet. Ugin the Ineffable is kind of weird too, so don't know how like stock or weird their list is. Goal here is to make some land drops, basically. So this is the same hand, but mine is a Growth Spiral, so you have one less look at a land for Cultivate. However, we do have Gust and Negate. Without the extra draw off the Spiral, I'm not really inclined to keep this hand. This deck's all about making land drops, and you can't really afford to miss, especially in the mirror, so relying on a land draw on our first 2 draws, and if it's the second draw, it has to be an untapped land, it's not really worth it. We're going to mulligan. This hand's much better. Gonna keep this, and we're gonna ship a land. I know it's a little counterintuitive, but I think keeping negate's important. We have a Scry land. Deck's got plenty of lands in it. We'll find more probably. We're gonna bottom that. Mostly want lands on top, but reality is we also want to keep negate too. So they're topping. We're gonna just fire off Spiral right now. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so a little ahead of the curve. We got a negate. Cultivate. Sure. Nothing really worth negating yet, so not a lot of pressure to leave that one up. Unfortunately, no Breeding Pool or Triomes. We can't play Nissa and leave up Negate, but see how they play their turn and go from there. Definitely, you know, ahead a couple lands. So, well, that means Nissa's in, right? We get to untap and have Negate up too with our extra land. Feels pretty good. Nissa untap into negate or dispute is just like so unreal. Or Gust is so unreal good.
I protect that which cannot protect
We're gonna tap an
itself.
island here.
The land shall conquer you.
Now you have negate or growth spiral, and you get to counter their spell, then untap. The tempo swing is just unbelievable. Hero's fine. They got nothing? Wow. Alright. The thing about Nissa is not only, we're gonna hold on to that in Cycloid probably. Not only is she insane to untap with, so you cast a million spells, but also she just kills you in like 3 turns. You know, so not exactly the Nissa term we were looking for, but as long as we have negate up, I feel pretty good. So leaving a second negate on top says, I want to win this game with Nissa by itself. And they're about to go to 12. I'm actually pretty about that, so we're going to leave it there.
Harness the elements.
We could also, if we're feeling frisky, cast a second Nissa next turn to make the lethal dagger. Radiant Fountain, interesting. So their flex spot is Radiant Fountain, not Blast Zone. Both good against aggro decks. Yeah. No. If it's a Krasis, we like are pretty annoyed. Radiant Fountain's freaking great. I love that card. Yeah, a Krasis here would be pretty bad. Especially given that we top this Negate. It's like the one card that like really punishes us. Not there on Euro yet. Leaving the gate on top was risky. It was definitely risky. We shall see. Nissa who shakes the world. Yeah, we will happily pay 3. And that's probably the game. They have 2 mana up. We're going to go for it, I think. Let's go for the kill. Oh, I'm sorry. They're 14 now. Never mind. They're not 12 anymore. Alright, yeah, we're not going to go for the kill. Just going to fire up. Die for 9. Negate up. Next turn, we can theoretically ultimate Nissa and play another Nissa. So, feeling pretty good here. Obviously, we have Negate anyway, but Ugin really doesn't do too much. Now, even a huge Krasis probably doesn't do it. Sure. Still lethal. Radiant Fountain again. Wow. Radiant Fountain's sweet. I love this card. Such a great amount of value out of a land. You know, they should be at 6. But instead, they're at 10. Huge difference. Monumental difference. Interesting. Shifting Ceratops. No good attacks, though. Alright, we're going to ultimate and play a new Nissa, so... Hopefully, mostly guarantees we'll draw a spell next turn. I suppose guarantees is a strong word, but... He gets to play. Oh, I'm stupid. I should have floated mana. That was a mistake. I mean, they can't dispute anyway, so it's fine. But definitely a mistake. That was not smart. So I get these indestructible breeding pools here.
Harness the elements.
So 4 indestructible 3/3 lands. So they can block some of, obviously, but. And Negate back up. Feeling pretty good here. Feeling pretty good. Ugin not really doing it here. Again, Big Krasis is good, but this never-ending army of indestructible lands ain't stopping anytime soon. So... no. Yeah, there you go. Nissa into counter spells. Really, really good. Very, very powerful stuff. So they have their own Ceratops, and they are on the play. We're gonna bring the 4th Gust and cut a negate. Now I've shown them multiple negates. They might lean a little more towards creature threats, and Gust is good against Ceratops. So I think I'd rather lean on that a little more. Usually the ramp deck goes a little more control-y post-sideboard. The question is how much, and then reacting to that amount. Ceratops is obviously good if your opponent goes really control-y and cuts some of the high-end stuff. Not a very good hand. Opponent did mulligan on the play, which makes me a little more inclined to keep. We should have land drops. We can negate their Cultivate or whatever, gust something. I'm going to keep based on the fact they mulligan, and it may be incorrect. If they kept 7, I probably would have mulliganed, but there's a chance they mulligan again also, and if we can like negate a Cultivate or something like that, they might just not have enough lands to do stuff. Temple of Mystery. Guess you can't see that, can you? Growth Spiral. Never punished. Ever. Breeding Pool tapped. Go. So we're going to say go here. They could have Dispute, so no reason to just cast Growth Spiral. There's a chance we like I would negate a Cultivate here. Sure, so we're gonna Growth Spiral response. Alright, so I mean hand's pretty good now. We've got multiple 2-mana interaction. We have the Breeding Pool for a 2-mana off Nissa. Turn 4 Nissa. We'll see what they do here. Euro again is totally fine. And a Blast Zone. So they're playing Blast Zone and Radiant Fountain? It's interesting. Alright. Get a Forest here. Could definitely have a counterspell for my Nissa, so there's a question of if you want to even cast Nissa or not, or just wait a turn. So we have more mana to play one of these up. People play Nissa and they negate it and they untap and play their own Nissa. It's pretty gross. So I'm just gonna play Castle Vantress as I go. We have like a proactive thing to do, but don't do anything anyway, so. Oh, Radiant Fountain. 28 life. So many life points. Krasis is not bad. Obviously, Krasis plays well against counterspells. Kind of want to leave a counterspell up, though, so I'm going to keep the Krasis. Big choice here is do we cast a Nissa and do a counterspell, and then do we defend if they counter? I think we cast it, and if they negate this or dispute it, we don't fight. So we have more gas. Portal's Resolve, that's cool too. Well, now I'm punished for not tapping. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we're not tapping Breeding Pool. So now I can't cast Gust and Negate, so that's kind of lame. It's kind of counterintuitive, but I should have tapped the Breeding Pool.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Could have Shark Typhoon here. That would kind of suck. Yeah. There might have been a boo-boo on my part. I think attacking is probably wrong here because Typhoon's so good anyway that letting it eat my land also is a mistake. I probably should not have attacked there. I was thinking it. I kind of just didn't like execute what I was thinking. There's no reason to throw away a land there, and Shark can't kill Nissa anyway. So, all right, we are going to negate this. Oh, we had to. Yeah, that was a major mistake because we could have had Gust up too. So, Not a very good play on my part.
Stop.
Alright, so we're gonna play Krasis for 9. Then untap Breeding Pool, attack, and have Gust up.
The land
Could
fights
cast
for us.
Cultivate. But I don't love that. Also should not be cracking this passage in fear of Aether Gust, I suppose. You could like Gust the Krasis in response. Not exactly wanting for more Nissas here, so yeah, not wanting for Nissa, so if they kill with Nissa, it's like whatever. Also, the only way they can really kill this Krasis is to like Gust it, which is obviously great for us. We just get it back again, cast it again, which is phenomenal. Feeling pretty good here. Shark Typhoon is like not very good in the mirror. It's only good if you get into this like kind of weird counterspell war, but kind of just gets overwhelmed by everything. It's bad against Ugin. It's not great against Krasis. Alright, we are going to Gust this. We'll see what happens. And if they defend, we get to play Ugin next turn, right? Yeah, it looks like it. So, Aether Gust is so good. It's a silly magic card. Alright, so we're not going to crack this passage. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just going to cast Ugin, honestly. Like, just play Ugin and -0, kill the shark.
The axiomatic structure of reality is surprisingly flexible.
And I might even just like send the passage in, honestly. Kind of want to whatever. Alright, sweet. There you go. 3-0. Deck even wins the mirror. Deck even wins the mirror. And yeah, that's a lot of the power of a deck post board. Is that the counter spells and the Aether Gusts are really good because they give the ramp deck an amount of play it doesn't usually have. Usually the ramp deck is, you know, pretty linear. You play a ramp spell, you play a ramp spell, you play a big thing, you play a big thing, and you hope those things are good enough. But the ability to Aether Gust or, you know, Mystical Dispute, and the ability to just Nissa untap your land and kind of also just turn into this weird tempo deck where you're attacking them, putting a threat in play, and leaving up counter spells is pretty phenomenal. So, pretty good hander. This is part of the allure of Cultivate, making sure you make your land drops. I'm just going to spiral right now. Guarantee it resolves. In case they have dispute. Hello? Card's really good. I wrote about this card in my article on CoolStuffInc.com on Friday. Definitely a really powerful card. Very underappreciated on the in spoiler season. Gonna play the passage just like deck thin. It's like a very low opportunity cost. The only opportunity cost is letting them have a forest in my hand, but we gain a very slight percentage on better draws, so normally not worth it in Modern when you're like fetching and stuff, but it's very fun. We get a forest.
Let's slow this
If we had Dispute there, it would have been nice. Draw, make it 2-2. It's a really solid card. Very young Pyromancer-esque. Pretty average playing Krasis here. Shark Typhoon. Good card against a fairy.
I've got it.
Just ordered a new chair. I'm looking forward to getting it. A little better posture here. Sure, classic 6 lands to 4, you know? Hydroid Spiral, sure. Interesting to opt the passage first, but... Alright, I mean, they can't really attack. Play a new Teferi here and bounce my Krasis is like pretty sweet for us. Spiral again, sure. So catching up on lands, We are, of course, building towards Ugin, which is great. That is a lot of growth spirals, alright? We went from being ahead 2 lands to behind a land in 1 turn. Welcome to Standard 2020. They're saying they have Dispute also, so... Gonna kill this Teferi. Maybe my mouse will work. What's going on, mouse? What are you doing?
Only time will tell.
Typhoon for 5. We could have got 0 here, and then like Typhoon for 2. That's pretty bad, I think. Can't activate this thing, make their things into 4/4s currently, but that's not super scary. One of the nice things about Shark Typhoon is that it forces your opponent to act on their turn, allowing you to untap into something big, unlike Ugin. If they have their own Ugin here, we get to activate with Shark Typhoon, so... Bring it on. Coming in. I think I'm, let's see. I think this is fine, because the problem is they play Ugin, and if I Shark Typhoon and they play Ugin, they get to wipe the board, and then Ugin's in play, and I can't really deal with it, so I don't mind taking 4 here to have the opportunity to attack an Ugin with the Shark Typhoon token, so... Hello. Bad opponent. Good time. Oh, no, there we go. A 5/5 Krasis. Also makes the open. I mean, this is just a great Ugin turn for us. So now we're not going to cycle Shark Typhoon because we're going to wipe the board anyway. So they can certainly have their own Ugin to back this up, but I think that's fine. Smart block, smart block. So -2. Kills the Krasis and the Mowabi, whatever. Everything else. They have an Elspeth Conquers Death here. It's annoying, but not a bad exchange there by any means. Mopped up pretty good. A lot of pressure on them to have an answer here. We still have Euro. We still have Shark Typhoon, getting close on cards in graveyard for Euro, so... Certainly a lot of things that need Elspeth Conqueror deathing. Looks like they have a Nissa. It's fine.
Seek shelter in my stewardship.
I mean, if they have their own Ugin here, it's actually really gross. They get to attack our Ugin, play an Ugin, bolt our Ugin, but... Yeah, that might be the case. That would be really bad for us. That would definitely be a game-swinging play. Yeah. Oh, they figured it out, and now we're dead. So, pretty swingy games here. Pretty swingy games. I mean, pretty hard to play around that exact sequence, and pretty hard to beat an Ugin as well. So, we get to make a 7/7 Shark Typhoon token, which is definitely not good enough. I mean, we just don't really beat a resolved Ugin, unfortunately, so... Suppose we can, like, Euro and Gust and Euro. Make them -3. Not seeing much of a way out here. Wait, what? Yeah, Euro, so...
I no longer wish to stay.
Alright. I guess we could actually, like, Growth Spiral, too. And then Gust. A lot of shocks here, but, you know, it's fine. A lot of lands in play, too. So we're going to... Draw Step, Aether Gust, Nissa. Probably got a -3 their Ugin. We still got a long way to go, but... a million lands, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so 9/9. That's pretty good, actually. I think Gust is fine. So let him draw. Gust the old Nissa. And then if they want to -3 the Ugin, we can get the Ugin next turn with a Shark Typhoon token, hopefully, as well as Gust the Nissa. We have plans. My schemes are never ending. Nissa goes on top, sure. Obviously, if they have, like, basically anything else here, we're probably going to lose, but I think we're putting ourselves in a decent spot to win. Opponent's tanking. Opponent is tanking. Ugin the Spirit Dragon back in Standard. Who would have thought, you know? Who would have thought? Okay. Well, there goes the Euro. And they have a Growth Spiral to recast Nissa. Pretty bad. Ramp Mirrors are definitely swingy. Definitely swingy. Oh boy, there's not everything. Alright, so we're gonna say go, let him draw, Gust the Nissa again. And now we have Shark Typhoon for 9, which should be enough to take out the Ugin. However, we're probably just gonna die to these lands. We gotta draw a pretty nice one here off the top, and I'm not really sure what that can be.
Ignore.
Well, now they plus the Ugin, so now we can actually just block with our Shark Typhoon, which is pretty awesome. So, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thinking, I guess we're just dead. No. They could have killed us if they pumped the Recluse. This would have been a 4-4. This would have been I'm sorry, a 3-3 and a 6-6, so 9. Yeah. Alright, so we also didn't draw a spell. So we can kill Ugin, but we can't defend ourselves against the board, so sure. Alright, so kind of a tough game. So now, it's a mirror, but they have Teferi, so our counter spells aren't as good. We definitely want Shark Typhoon. Kind of think we want Ceratops as well. No Grazers, pretty easy card to board out. I don't want that many Gusts. And Negate is weird because it's just bad against Teferi. We are on the play. So I'm kind of more inclined to just be a little more aggressive, I think. I guess Ceratops is bad against the 1-2, which makes a bunch of 2-2s. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to leave the Ceratops out and bring the Negates in. On the play. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I don't want too many counter spells because if they think it's a fairy, I don't want my entire hand to fall apart. Everyone loves a good book, you know? Alright, going first. Pretty good hand. Actually, pretty awkward. We're still going to keep, but no untapped land here for our Growth Spiral. We have Negate and Cultivate and Nissa. Can't mulligan his hand. Just going to try and find an untapped land if possible. Even then, if we don't find it, it's still pretty good, so... Opponent's mulligan here in the old tank. Alright, Sound Mystery, Forest on top. No, bottom that. Just want any untapped land. That's not the worst though. Also, not an untapped land. Yeah, no way to trick this into play here. We can't, like, Growth Spiral, put in Passage, play Vantress, and get an island and have them both be untapped. We kind of dispute up, which is pretty good. So, we're going to keep this. It's a little awkward, but... It's so awkward because if they have Teferi, we want to counter that. I'm just going to dispute this stuff. They mulligan, they're on the play. Let's trade off here a little bit, you know? So we're gonna Passage and say go. See what they do. Sure. I think we're sure it's off Growth Spiral now. Sure. Draw land here, feeling pretty good about things with the old Nissa, but I think drawing a breeding pool in particular would be really, really good. Not quite a land, but still Negate up, so it's still pretty good. Making land drops, we got some interaction, we got some boom booms. Got to counter Teferi, obviously, otherwise the gate goes dead, so they have a dispute here to fight through. It's like fine, we should resolve Nissa, so.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Yeah, sure.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Can't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No, can't play Ugin here. We could play like a 4/4 Krasis, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we can't. Never mind. We don't have a blue either. Yeah, we're just gonna play just play Nissa and attack. We're gonna untap. You might get Conquered Death next turn, but untap Castle Vantress.
Behold, nature's true
Actually, that might have been wrong. Because if they bounce Castle Vantress, comes in untapped.
That was
I
uncalled
mean,
for.
untapped, I mean. Let's see what they do here. I mean, they have Conqueror's Death for Nissa. We draw a land. We play Ugin. Playing a big Krasis is pretty good anyway, so feeling pretty good
I've
here.
got time.
In the tank, plus to fairy, 4 mana in play. I mean, obviously they gotta be scared of Dispute, Negate, Aether Gust, and then even if they are able to do something like, what's the it's the end game, you know? Sure. So, just gonna make a 2/2 and draw a card. Not overwhelmingly impressive, and now we can just get to Ugin and blow him out, which feels pretty awesome. Yeah, it seems good to me. I mean, like, we could just Ugin plus, but I suppose we are concerned with Elspeth Conqueror's Death, so maybe we just, like, wipe it out. Like, Conqueror's Death is probably a really bad card for us here. So -2. Oh, 3, I mean, sorry.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
The land shall conquer you.
I think we had a Negate in our hand, you know, but it's okay. So they got to deal with Ugin and Nissa and the lands and Krasis and the backup Ugin. I mean, it's a lot to fight through. I understand. You got to go in the tank here and try and figure out how you're going to wriggle your way out of this one. Yeah, it's Conqueror's Death. So, no Negate. Probably should have another Ugin and Krasis anyway, so. Targeting? Is that targeting the Nissa? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So, they're saying they can beat Ugin. Well, we get in. Just going to play a huge Krasis here, so.
My flames burn beyond
So
perception.
for 6. Alright, I mean, still feeling pretty good. A lot to beat here. A lot to beat. And the only card to get back with the Conqueror's Death is an Euro. So, yeah, it's not, you know, blank, but not particularly amazing. Kudos to our opponent, you know? In a tough spot, trying to figure out how to get out of it. Start with the Fairy Time Raveler.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Let's try this.
Bouncing their own Conqueror's Death. Bold. Look pretty dead to me. Alright, that's game 2. That's game 2. We'll take that. We'll take that. A little a little more according to the script. Now that we're on the draw, are we a little more interested in Mystical Dispute? Keeping Teferi off the board is kind of important, I suppose, if our other spells are going to work. Yeah, I'm going to shave an Ugin for a Mystical Dispute. We're on the draw. You know, we don't necessarily want to jam Ugin on 8 anyway, because they have counter spells and stuff, so you need to be a little more nimble if possible. So I think that 3 Ugins is probably enough Ugin for us. A little Ugin ASMR. Remember, folks, there's a companion article to this video on CoolStuffInc.com, like there always is, every Monday. Every Monday I do a video article with a little write-up on CoolStuffInc.com. So a little talk about the deck on the article. Watch the video, is great. And of course, every Friday I do a full-length article. CoolStuffInc.com, free content every weekday from a great stable of writers, including myself, Ali Antrazi, MTG Nerd Girl, Mike Flores. Great group, CoolStuffInc.com. It's not great, but we're going to keep. Kind of a mopey ramp spell on the draw, a little clunky here. Do have a negate. Growth Spiral helps, but we need more lands too, so they're going to main phase their Growth Spiral, sure. I am probably going to do the same thing. I guess if they have a Teferi, yeah, we should actually wait. Second Ugin, not a good draw. Even board one of those out, you know? Alright, Spiral here. Okay. Plays. Alright, I mean, we'd love to draw land here. We gotta draw land up off the... Alright, cool, perfect. So now we can Euro, and then also have the Negate up, which is great. Speed, sure. So still a little clunky here, but now I got some stuff going on at least. They have like Nissa and Dispute, we're in trouble, but alright, so gotta counter that, unfortunately. Just how the old crumbles. 3 cards left. Scavenging Ooze. I found Scavenging Ooze to be extremely ineffective in mirrors. Euro just isn't very good in the mirror. Realistically.
Together, we will prevail. Be wary of the ground to walk on.
They have their own Euro. I'm not going to attack here. Shall leave Dispute up. They want to attack Nissa for 4, it's fine. But yeah, this is just too small ball for the mirror, I found. Yeah, it eats a Euro. It's a 3/3, and then 3 turns later, it's just totally irrelevant in any way. All right, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Obviously, gets around my Dispute, which is annoying, but I mean, now we get to Nissa again on tap of. Oh no, we're still a little short. You draw land. If we get that far, so we can leave up a full Mystical Dispute. Sure. Only 1 card left. Love to draw a land here. Any untapped land. Nope. We've got 1 card left. Yeah. I mean, if their last card's Ugin, so be it.
Witness the tide that bind the fool.
No. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure. I screwed up. They have this card anyway. They have the Conqueror, so I can't even cast Mystical Dispute regardless. So should have probably been a Forest, but we'll see. We'll see. My spells cost 2 more. We can't cast Ugin next turn. No, we can't. Actually, never mind. We can. We have the untap. Alright, so I mean, just don't have that last card be good, you know? That card right there. Or this card. Alright, no blocks. Easy take here. Nissa can take it, your stuff. That's it. Wow. kind of feels like they've got a counterspell of some sort. I mean, we got to get in, right? And we can't really float mana and get in also, so...
Harness the elements.
That's pretty good. I guess we could have seen that coming, probably. There might have been a dum-dum on my part. Wow, 2, 4, 6, 7? So close. Yeah, that's bad for us. 2, 4, 6. Oh, yeah. So we're 1 short of playing Ugin. I'm sorry, no, it costs 10. Never mind. Yeah, this is bad for us. We might have played this game badly. Next, we'll get back to Ferry, too. Yeah, we might have screwed this game up. Alright. Now we can't even, like, Euro without leaving Dispute up. We're going to get back to Ferry anyway. Yeah, we didn't play this game very well. Alright, let's just Euro. Doesn't play great into their Ooze, obviously, but... Now we should get back to Ferry so we can't Dispute. Yeah, this is not a good sequence of events for us.
Longer. Stand by and watch.
I guess like not walking into Shark Typhoon there is probably what we gotta do. If we just like don't attack. But I guess then they don't cycle and we can't guess Ugin. I don't know.
Don't worry. I got
Bounce the island. The tapped island, no less. Interesting. That can't be good. Yeah. Alright. I think we probably screwed this game up. The hand was pretty good. I'm not sure what we should have done to line up better against it. But...
Consider this a warning.
Conqueror's Death is pretty brutal also. Yeah, we're
I
just
must
dead.
seek comfort in a land.
Alright, so tough game there. Maybe we screwed that one up. I'm not really sure, honestly. I probably need to go back and like watch it. But I'm not really sure on that one. But we'll take it, right? 3-1. Deck's very powerful. Maybe we play better in that third game. There we go. We take that one down. But deck is really, really good. I mean, if you're looking for raw power in Standard, I mean, it's hard to get more raw power than this, you know? Nissa is just so good. Just like all the best cards. 4 Ugins. A lot of your matchups are just biased because you have Ugin. You know, you just play against like Paw Blade or like any random mid-rangey aggro deck. You just Ugin them into next year. And then in Mirrors, you just have Nissa plus counterspells. The Disputes and the Gusts are great. It's actually just really, really good. Just a really, really solid choice. You know, will this deck still be good like 2 weeks from now? I'm not sure. We're still in the early stages of the format, but probably my front runner to play in the SG Tour Open online. Again, for me, it's in 2 days, but for you, it's 2 days in the past. So we'll see what I did, right? So that's the deck. Simic Ramp, definitely a really good choice if you already have some of these cards, especially if you already have your Euros and your Krasis. Craft those Ugins and let's go, because Ugin does not mess around. It's not mess around. So, I am Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Make sure on CoolStuffInc.com use promo code Jim5 for 5% off your order. Singles, board games, supplies, you name it, CoolStuffInc.com has it. Again, 5% off your order and a free Goblin token with my likeness on it. A free Jim Davis Goblin token with your order as well. CoolStuffInc.com, promo code Jim5. Again, free content every weekday, no paywall. And I do a video Monday, article Friday. All right, I'm Jim Davis at CoolStuffInc.com. I love you all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.